It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood. Would you be mine? Would you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood. Would you be mine? Would you be mine? It's a neighborly day.
Hey, yo, what up? What up? This is your boy JD Jones, and I'm one of your hosts here at Neighborhood Talk.
And I'm your other host, Mocca on the block.
Yo, Mocha, what's the deal tonight?
Man, I'm purging my house. That's pretty much it. How
All
you
right,
doing?
good vibes over there. Over here, I'm good vibes over there. Sound like you got some productivity going on. Happy to be back on the space with you tonight. Here at Neighborhood Talk, we want to welcome all of our listeners and our supporters around the world, but allow us a moment just to introduce ourselves yet again. We go by the newest, latest, and soon to be most influential Web3 platform to ever exist, y'all.
Yes. And if you're new to our space and eager to learn more about our NFT game project, feel free to click the link in our bio or simply check out our slides above that's being displayed right now. And also, we are doing the latest in show giveaways. All you got to do is retweet their Twitter space right now and you qualify. So make sure y'all do that.
Yeah, no, thank you, Mocha, for that beautiful introduction about our platform and our space. But not only is this our space to display our newest and latest projects, such as Neighborhood Tales, but here at Neighborhood Tales and Neighborhood Talk, we happen to share our space with the dopest guests, and tonight happens to be no exception. Talking everything Web3 architect and everything Web3 in general. Mocha, let our listeners know who we have the privilege of hosting tonight.
Yeah, man, my pleasure. Tonight we have Archaag. I hope I said that right and didn't butcher it. Please unmute and let the people know where you're from.
Hi guys, it's a pleasure for me to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm really grateful that I get to spend this space with you and with your followers, with your community. First and foremost, the name was on point. Is Arch for a reason. I'm a real life architect that has recently moved into freelancing, into Web3 development. And right now, I'm trying to bring as much architecture and design as possible to this world. So this is what I'm currently doing for this community.
Yeah, Archaag, a pleasure to have you here on our space here at Neighborhood Talk. But if you don't mind, we're gonna hop right into it, man. How did you even get into? How and when did you get into the Web3 space?
Yeah, please let's just do it. Well, my adventure with crypto started a couple of years back, but I went into Web3 massively in the past year, so 2022. And the transition from an office job as an architect to an architect into Web3, this transition has been done last summer. So July, August, something like that. That was the turning point for me. And how I got into it, and I'm still 100% am. I was sure that this space and this community needs the skills and the expertise of architects, of designers to create the environments for everything that you want to develop around. You want to build a game, you need somebody to work on your environment. You want to create a space for people to hang out, you need somebody who knows 3D and to know how to put this together. Everything you want to do, apart from, just artistic NFTs, you're going to need somebody with this special skill set and expertise. So this is what I'm bringing for the community.
That's lovely how you put that. So you would say the lack of architects in the Web3 space is what attracted you mostly into bringing your work over.
This lack of architects right now, by the way, I expect this to change in time. This lack was just an opportunity for me. So it was like a boost of confidence, not the main reason. The main reason why I'm doing this is because I love architecture. This is why I've trained myself to become an architect, and I spent years and years in university and all. I worked as an architect for many years also. So this is what I love to do. And as for Web3, I was passionate about it the moment I heard that you can have ownership of your assets, that you can develop a lot of very interesting projects. And when I got into this community and I saw the creatives that are here and the people that are here that you can get to work with, I was hooked. I mean, I never wanted to leave. It was very hard to go to in real life job when I knew what was possible here, and I wanted to be here full time. This is why I'm here.
And that is amazing story, Archaag. Um, so you mentioned freelancing. Can you talk to us about some of your freelance projects?
Sure thing. So the moment I made this change, I was certain that things are not going to be easy and they're not going to happen overnight. So what I'm basically doing right now is trying to be as involved as possible into the community and to make people understand the value that I can bring through my specific skill set and expertise. But I'm also developing my own project, or I'm involved in developing bigger projects together with teams of creatives. I currently work as an architect designing assets in multiple games. It's public knowledge already for quite a while that I am involved with Metaverse, and I help them with the design part. I've designed a castle for them, and we have big plans moving forward. I'm developing my own game with my partner, Topo Society, who is a great creative. He is passionate about maps and cartography, and we are building together a game that will allow you to build moon bases. So actual bases on the freaking moon. So we're creating unique plots, we're creating unique buildings and upgrades. We're designing this together and bringing them together. So make sure to check out moon bases. You can find us on Twitter, you can find us on Discord, and we are ready to launch this spring. We are bringing this game forward. And I'm also developing other things. I'm creating my own artistic projects, and one of them is bound to be launched these days, probably by the end of the week. I'm going to bring out a new collection of architecture and interior design art. So those would be photorealistic renders of interior spaces that I've designed from scratch. The house is 100% my concept. The interior design is my concept, and you are going to see this within the next days. This project will be announced officially tomorrow, and you're going to see it this week on Twitter.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah. I see that you like Loop Ring. Why is that, and what excites you most about that community?
Oh, I'm in love with Loopring and with Loopring community. The thing is that I've read a lot about Loopring, and I try to be constantly. I try to get the latest information whenever it appears about the progress that the team behind Loopring does. The thing about it is it's an amazing product for scalability. It uses the same security that Ethereum has, but for a tiny fraction of the fees for gas. So it's basically extremely friendly for people who are developing projects right from the ground up, for people who are new into this world, for artists that are just trying to bring the artwork forward and trying to get eyes on their work. Because when you're just starting, you don't have a lot to spend on fees, on gas fees. You don't want the process of minting to be very difficult. You want to be able to reach a wider community. So you might consider bigger numbers for your NFTs when you're starting. You might consider giveaways and things like that. I personally, even now, try to do giveaways and try to give back to the community. And all this is possible for very, very low costs with Loopring while maintaining extraordinary security. So what's not to love about it? I mean, it definitely is my favorite instrument to use into Web3, and I hope I get to build on Loopring for years to come now.
Yeah, no, man, absolutely. Wishing you the most success with that community, and really excited to hear about your aspirations with it. Hey, so I'm curious. You're a real life architect, right? And I got to ask you this question: What what are the differences that you've noticed being in Web3 from being a traditional architect? Any differences that you could speak on?
Oh, for sure, for sure. From my point of view, moving from real life architecture to, let's call it, digital architecture, was a big step forward, because here you are not you're no longer constrained in your creativity. Much of the laws of the physics don't apply anymore. Of course, you still have gravity and you still might fall from a tall building, but you get to experiment with structures that would be impossible to create in the real world, or not economically feasible to create in the real world. Here you can just use your imagination, exactly as you say about your project. It's your imagination is the only limit that you have, and this is not entirely possible in the real world, because there you have a lot of a lot of paperwork. You have to get the funds for creating something specific, and this is not happening here. So when I did this transition, I was excited to discover that I can put my ideas into creation, and I don't have to take into account all these regulation and all these limitations anymore. This was exciting for me.
Yeah.
And can you share more about the Golden Nugget and Evil Twin projects?
Oh yeah, for sure. I would love to talk about them. These are some of my first architecture projects that I brought here into Web3. The Golden Nugget is a concept metaverse house. So it is conceived as a place where you can hang out with your friends, or maybe chill, have small talk and all that. It's for a limited amount of people. You can also show your NFTs in there, and I've used some of my own NFTs into the renders to show the displays where you can show them off. The Evil Twin is the second one, is also a concept 100% original, built from scratch by me as an architect, and I worked for this also with my partner. She's my fiance. She's an interior designer, and we worked together to develop the interior staging and the decor of the house. And this was also a concept where I tried to push the boundaries a little bit. I tried to bring something that's exciting, something that's intriguing in architecture and interior design. And I brought to the community, I brought several photorealistic renders of this space, and they are available on Loop Exchange. And I hope people enjoy them and collect them to show off what the capabilities of this community are.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Is there anything that you're super excited about creating in this space? Um, or you talked about your projects, Golden Nugget and Evil Twin. As an architect, what are you looking forward to creating in this space?
I'm currently very excited to connect with different games and teams that are behind different games, because it's very interesting for me as an architect to get to properly use the creations that I come up with. And into a game, of course, you have this possibility. So, for example, if I'm working to develop a castle for this type of medieval looking game, I'm very interested to see it put to work and to be able to run around and use that space and see where I had good ideas and where my ideas could have been better or can be perfected at a later stage. And actually experience that space. This is an extraordinary feeling that you have in real life, getting into a building that you helped design and seeing it constructed. Just just the it's mind blowing to see it going from your computer to paper and then to reality. Now into the digital world, I want to see this through games. But I'm also very excited to see what you can do with spatial. I'm sure most of you know what I'm talking about. It is becoming pretty trendy right now to use spatial for hangouts and for space calls and all that. And I'm working with my good friends at GameRing, which we are a community of artists, and together we designed this space for us to hang out there. And it's amazing to use and to see how it functions and what sensation that space gives to you. It's an experience. It's extraordinary. You get to see it in work with people, with avatars, of course, but with people inside, and to perceive the scale and the materials, the textures, and all that. So I'm very excited to see this moving forward.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Switching gears, how do you feel about the overall Web3 culture? Is there anything you would change about it?
Now I'm thinking about it. I mean, it's a great question, but then again, it's pretty open end.
Hmm.
Um, my experience with Web3 so far has been extremely positive. So I've been fortunate enough to meet with people that have been very, very kind and generous and helpful. People that, in their vast majority, were there for me when I needed. They were giving me advice, or they helped me, they supported me, and all that. And this, to me, makes this community probably the best I've ever seen. I mean, I know that some of us um, might not be here for the right reasons, or that some of the people that want to get into Web3 are looking for, I don't know, quick profit or something, or scams. But in my experience, there have been very, very, very few such contacts and very few such issues. So my experience has been great so far. I would not be able to pinpoint something that I'd like to see changed in this one. Just keep doing whatever you do, because you're doing it great.
That's awesome. Absolutely. No, that's beautiful. You put it better than I could have said it. Like there are people here in this space for different reasons, but it's projects like you know yours and projects like Neighborhood Tales that are here for the right reasons, that are going to go for the long haul. Speaking of Neighborhood Tales, we are a new gaming platform coming out. Um, do you have any other gaming platforms that you look forward to experiencing, or I'm sorry, experimenting with?
As I said, I'm extremely excited for all these platforms to come alive one by one and to be available for us to interact with. So for sure, I am very excited to see yours becoming a reality and being available for us. I've seen some images on your social media. I've seen them on Discord, so I'm psyched That's something that I want to get into, and I want to find out more about if possible. But I'm also looking at other projects, and some of the projects that I'm mostly passionate about are those that you can find on GameStop Marketplace. Projects like Protocol Gemini or Cyber Crew. Those are like the probably the biggest names that you could find right now in that particular community within the Loopring GameStop community. But I'm excited for any game that develops something cool and brings something extra, tries to provide something new, because I feel like we're building together here, and just one project won't be able to cover everything. Of course, it's nonsensical. So if each of us try to bring a small part, to add a small part, to bring more value to this, then we're just making the whole a lot better. So I would support any game and any platform that has this drive to improve Web3 as a whole.
Couldn't agree more. Do you have any experience with VR and AR?
Yes, actually I do, because we've used that in our offices. I've worked for several top companies within my country, and I got the chance there to experience both VR and AR. Actually, I was part of the first team that worked in VR in 2017, and I helped prepare an office building for a VR presentation using headset and everything, and the Xbox controller and all that. And it was great because I was able to put the owner of the building, to put them on a chair, to put the headset on, put the controller in their hand, and said, okay, let's just take a walk inside your building, see how it will look when it's finished. It was an extraordinary experience for me as a young architect to be able to do this with such a powerful company. So I'm experienced with that. I know how it's supposed to work and what's supposed to look like. And I'm excited to see that Web3 is also looking into this one. I believe there is a lot to achieve in this area.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Hey, we want to really start to wrap up with this though. I mean, your story is you were working a 9 to 5, a classic job, right? You started freelancing, found Web3, somewhere in that order. I might have the order mixed up, so I apologize. But how would you prepare someone to start transitioning into Web3?
Yeah, you got that right. I mean, I worked for about 7 years as an architect in an office, and that my full-time transition into Web3 is only, I don't know, 1 year old, less than that, 6 months, 7 months old. Um, I would try and prepare somebody who is looking into the same path by telling them that you cannot jump steps, and by telling them that you should strive to be as real as possible and as open as possible, and to slowly build, to sustainably build a connection with everybody around you. So don't assume that you will become the next hot shot overnight, because it won't happen like this. Or if it does, that's an extremely small chance. Start building, start connecting with people. Be real about it. Be open. Be honest, and people are gonna notice. I've seen this, and it's amazing to see it. And when you feel ready to do it, just do it, and go into it with your whole heart, because going into freelancing, it can be nerve-wracking. It's not predictable anymore. The income is not predictable. The schedule is not predictable. Right now we're talking, it's 3:30 a.m. in my country. This is the schedule of a freelancer. You have to be okay with that, and I'm completely cool with it. But you have to assume this will happen. So just think of your steps, but it will not work overnight. You have to work really, really hard for it, and you have to want it so much that you're willing to work really hard for it.
Man, you couldn't have phrased that better. I'm assuming you're on a CET time, almost 3 a.m. So a special thanks to you for joining us so late.
Yeah, I didn't realize, but I'm happy that you're here with us today. Um, I wanted to ask, what 3D modeling programs do you prefer to use?
Yeah, well, in terms of the programs that I use, right now I'm using the programs that I've spent years perfecting my skills into, programs that I've used as an architect for the offices that I worked with. Um, so my go-to program would be Revit, and Revit is known by architects worldwide as a very powerful tool for designing and for managing the construction of a building. And I personally believe it's very suitable for what we're trying to achieve here, because it's perfect in terms of realism. You will obtain exactly the house or the building, the tower, whatever that you're going to use. So Revit is definitely something that I would use, and I know this program for and use it for about 13 years now. So I know my way around it. Another program that I'm using is Rhino. Now, Rhino is very good because you're using it for something that you create from scratch, custom made, like a product of some sort. When you're designing a small object, or when you're designing a concept model of something. So you're not interested into the tiny details, though you can do that as well, of course, with enough time and work. But you're interested in the general shape, and you want to provide a general volume of what you're looking at. I'm also working with SketchUp. I'm rendering with V-Ray. So post-processing with Photoshop. There are quite a lot of software involved. And the projects that you see from me on the market usually go through at least 4 software before reaching that stage.
Love it. Um, do you No, I lost my question. We're going to transition to the next portion of our neighborhood talk, where it's called Cap or Fact. I'll basically ask you a series of questions, and you'll respond Cap or Fact. Um, so
Uh,
yeah,
Sorry, I'm not sure I understand correct. What should I answer with? Sorry, if we can go a bit back on that.
no, that's fine. So Cap means like it's false, like it's a false statement, something like that, like true or false.
Okay.
Um, and so you'll say Cap, and Fact means like it's true.
Okay. Okay.
So
Cool.
basically the first question is, more architects will move into Web3 in the next year, Cap or Fact?
Fact. My point of view, definitely fact.
Um why is that?
Uh, because I can't be the only one seeing this opportunity, and I personally know of other architects being involved into Web3 one way or another. Right now, they are mostly involved into creating art pieces, so not precisely architecture or design for buildings and spaces, but I assume this will also raise. I believe there is a need for such services and for such minds into Web3, and I'm expecting this need to be fulfilled by architects joining it.
All right. Oh, perfect. All right. So next capper fact for you, Archaag, is Loop Ring will hit a no, all Loop Ring will hit a new all time high this year. Capper fact.
Now, this is a tricky one because I'm no no, for real. It's a tricky one because I, I'm not an expert into that one. But I'm an
Yeah.
optimistic, so I'm gonna go with fact. If you ask me, I'm gonna go with
All right.
fact.
Cool. We'll take that.
Love it. And the last question is: you need a strong team to make it in Web3. Cap or fact?
Well, surprisingly, I'm gonna go with cap on this one. I don't necessarily think that you need a strong team as a team being very close to you. You can be an accomplished artist by yourself and do your own thing, and minting is not that big of a deal. And if your art truly takes off, then marketing is also something that you can work on your own. What I do believe you need for sure, you need a strong community around you. You need people that support you. You need people that offer you feedback, and people who are willing to help or to do collabs with you and that sort of thing. A team, like a team meaning very, very, very strong and creative partners around you, are not necessarily what you need into this space. I'm fortunate enough to have such a team, but I don't think for each and every artist this is a requirement. So don't be afraid to do this if you don't have a team. Just go for it, and you definitely have a chance.
And
So community is stronger.
Yeah, my opinion is that. So generally speaking, it was a general question. Generally speaking, I believe the need for a strong community is greater than a need for a strong team to be present into this. If you're rising to the very top, I will assume there is a team there as well. And as I said, I'm fortunate enough to already have very good people around me into such a team. But you as an artist, if you are a visual artist, if you're somebody who creates pieces using their own skill set, you just have to be part of a strong community, and that's a very good start.
Love it. Um, I would like to thank you for coming out once again tonight to help us learn more about you and your aspirations and things that you do in Web3. Is there anything that you want to say to our guests, and how can they reach you?
you better talk about it.
Well, first of all, I also want to thank you for this invitation, for having me here, for giving me the chance to present myself and my vision to the community. Um, I guess the best way to get into contact with me would be by following me on Twitter. I'm very active here. I'm present all day around. So you can always reach out and find out more directly from me, or just see what I'm about through my posts. So if anybody has any sort of question or any project proposal, collab, or anything like this, just know that I'm always available for talk, and I'm always available to support others.
All right. Thank you, Archaag. And we want to thank you once again for being in our space. Absolute pleasure having you here, talking everything architect and how it's going to play into Web3. Thank you. I do believe you're going to be a great, great asset to the community overall, the Web3 community. So thank you again for being on our space. With that, y'all know how we come. We are right back at it. Stay tuned. Head over to our Twitter page, NH Tales, for all of our latest updates on shows, giveaways, prizes, gaming update. I'm so excited about what's happening for this project. You don't want to miss it. And another way to follow us is on Discord. While you're over on our Twitter page, click the link in our bio. All of the exclusive latest drops regarding Neighborhood Talk and Neighborhood Tales will be displayed there. Um, and then we're giving away $100,000 in cash prizes. All you need to do is be a part of the Discord, making sure that you get all of those drops and latest updates regarding our project. Yo, Mocha on the block. I appreciate all you do for the space. It's been an absolute pleasure hosting this space with you again. You guys can find me everywhere at JD. I'm sorry, I got a new handle. Official JD Jones. Find me everywhere at Official JD Jones. Appreciate y'all.
Likewise, man. And I want to thank the listeners for coming out and listening to episode 30 of Neighborhood Talks with us. So this is our 30th episode, y'all. And I'm so happy to announce that. And again, you can find us at NH Tales on Twitter. You can find us at Neighborhood Tales on every other platform, IG, TikTok, Discord, LinkedIn, Facebook, and you can catch the recordings of the Neighborhood Talks on YouTube. You can also find me on Twitter and IG at Mocca on the Block. It's been a pleasure, y'all, and until next time.
It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood. Would you be mine? Would you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood. Would you be mine? Would you be mine? It's a neighborly day.